Okay, so let's talk Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, you're probably thinking, I'm going to be discussing something about the anime or Master Duel or whatever. Not discussing the anime. Master Duel I will discuss somewhat, but it's mostly going to be targeted towards the TCG and a bunch of cards as well. But yeah, nothing anime related. Except I am what people call a Gen 1er for Yu-Gi-Oh! Meaning I really only like the Duel Monsters series. Like GX, 5Ds, Zexal, stuff like that. I don't really care for it. Well, except Vrains. Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains is actually really cool. But yeah, before you watch the video, do have to mention that I am biased towards Duel Monsters. I don't really care for anything else except, Vrains, like as previously stated. So yeah, if you don't like that I'm biased for the original Duel Monsters series or how the rules, cards, and everything back then worked, then you're free to tap off this video or whatever you want to do. I won't stop you. I mean, I personally can't stop you, but you do what you do. But if you're okay with that and you want to hear what I have to say, then hi. This is going to be a very controversial video, if it wasn't already. I got notification. Yeah, it's Forest. Yeah. Hi, Forest. So, yeah. First off, I'm going to be discussing Master Duel for this first part because, there's a new selection pack coming in Master Duel. It's going to feature the Labyrinth archetype, Valkyrie, I believe, and a few other archetypes. But I personally myself am excited for the Labyrinth archetype because I've been wanting to try them for a while, but the cards are kind of fucking expensive. If you want to go for physical cards, they're kind of expensive. And I personally like to try them out in like a simulation or a game or whatever. Try them out, and if I like them, get the cards. If I don't get the cards. Which is what Master Duel is perfect for. So yeah, that selection pack comes out here in 2 days, actually. So yeah, you might see a deck building video for that in the near future, if I don't forget, and I actually decide to, record and upload it. But yeah, new selection pack coming in the Master Duel. I'm personally excited. I'm saving all my ultra rare, super rare, non-rare medals, as well as my almost 2,000 gems that I currently have in game for building those cards and everything. And I saw what rarity Lovely Labyrinth of Silver Castle is. Ultra rare. So yeah, that's gonna be quite costly. Just for her. But you know what? I'm willing to, I'm willing to like do it anyway. Fuck, I've made shadows. Obviously, I mean, sure, they're not as expensive, but the the monsters in the extra deck were pretty fucking expensive. Cause a lot of them are ultra rares, so it's like, yeah, you kind of. The thing about Labyrinth cards as well, from what I've seen, their effects are really fucking powerful. So I really wouldn't be surprised if Lovely Labyrinth and Lady Labyrinth, which is her other variation, I wouldn't be surprised if they were limited to like one. I really wouldn't. Because, again, they're really fucking good. So it's like, yeah, with effects like that, you kind of might want to. With really good effects. I forgot what effects they have, but they're like really fucking good. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they limited them, both of her variations, to like one. But yeah, it's just I'm excited for the new selection pack. I really am. I've been saving my resources in game and everything because of that. For the past couple days, I'm at almost 2,000 gems. So, and the selection pack comes out in 2 days. So I should have 2,000 gems by Thursday when the pack comes out. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And now for this next section, this is where the controversial part comes in. Hand traps and Max C. This is why I said it's going to be controversial. Limit hand traps like Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit, Ghost Bell. Hand traps like that, limit to just one. Limit them to one, because they are pretty fucking good. I'm gonna lie. They are good. Yeah, they're good. But, and the only way you can really counter those cards is Called by the Grave, which is also limited to 2, but yeah, Called by the Grave should be banned. Like, it really should be banned. Like, I'm not surprised as to why it hasn't been outright banned. It's been limited. I might be banned in the TCG. I don't know. I don't play the TCG, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, it could be banned in the TCG, but it could also still be limited to 2. Couldn't tell ya. But anyways, yeah. Hand traps like Ash Blossom, Ghost Spell, Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit. It's Ghost Spell. Yeah, Ghost Spell is a hand trap. Limit hand traps like that to 1, because they basically just work to negate and sometimes even outright banishes shit, which is what Called by the Grave does. But I mean, Called by the Grave does both. It negates and it banishes. So, yeah, say for example, someone played something like say like you played Pot of Duality, right? And your opponent plays Ash Blossom because one of Ash Blossom's effects is you get the choice of 3. But Pot of Duality allows you to add a card to your hand. Ash Blossom can negate that. So unless you don't want to like waste your turn and everything, and you need a card, your only chance of stopping that Ash Blossom is Called by the Grave, and when that banish is successful, say you played another card that allowed you to like special summon from the deck or draw another card, for example. Say you activated the effect like that, and your opponent played another Ash Blossom when you did that. That Ash Blossom would also be negated and everything banished as well. So you understand what I'm saying? Called by the Grave is pretty fucking broken, because if your opponent plays one card and you Call by the Grave it, all other copies of the card that your opponent is running also get negated and banished immediately. Like they can't use them, which is of course the only way to counter hand traps like that, but it's also like fucking overpowered, because that means they can't really like do anything about it. Unless of course they had like other kinds of hand traps other than Ash Blossom and stuff like that. But yeah, Called by the Grave also needs to be banned outright. Hand traps like Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit, Ghost Spell, stuff like that just need to be limited. Limit the hand traps. Because, again, yeah, like I said, pretty good. Which brings me to my next point. Ban Max C. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you didn't click off the video already, you're gonna click off now because I just said to ban Max C. Now, how Max C works is, if your opponent activates an effect that allows them to like special summon and stuff, you could activate your Max C which lets you like draw a card for every monster your opponent special summons to the field. Of course, again, which brings me back to my previous point. Hand traps like Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, everything like that can negate Max C. But here's the thing about that. Called by the Grave, of course, is still an issue, because again, it can negate every other copy of that of like Ash Blossom, for example, which would negate them from drawing cards for special summons with their Max C. So, say you activate an effect or you special summon a monster to the field. Your opponent draws a card, but wants to draw a card, but for every special summon you do by playing Max C. You Ash Blossom their Max C to try to negate it. But then, somehow, by miracle chance, they have Called by the Grave. Your Ash Blossom gets negated, banished. Their Max C still activates, meaning they can like draw cards for every special summon. And if you're playing something like Live Twin, for example, like I personally do, that's an issue, because depending on the deck, Max C can ruin basically the entire fucking game for you if your opponent Just one Maxi, by the way. But yeah, one Maxi can literally just fucking ruin the game for you. Because, again, if you're playing like Live Twins, you can like your opponent successfully activates Maxi. They have like hold on. Let me. I should have prepared a bunch of stuff for this. Say like you play Live Twins, right? You special summon a lot, and your opponent played Maxi. Your opponent can have a hand like this, right? Your opponent can have a hand like this. Basically, have like half, if not most, of their deck in just their hand. Like it's outright broken. Again, you can negate it, but those negates can also be negated, with meaning Maxi can still activate. Which is why I said to limit hand traps to 1. Ban Called by the Grave and ban Maxi, because they kind of ruined the game. And this isn't just me saying these things. I've seen a lot of people saying Maxi and Called by the Grave should be banned as well. Not just me. I've seen people all over the place saying they should be banned. Because, again, they ruin the game. Like, imagine you're just starting out, right? And your opponent just activates all these hand traps. And you want to negate them, but then they start playing like all this other shit. Let me give you a demonstration. Alright, so this is the physical, like, demonstration of what Maxi and stuff like that can do. Now, of course, I don't have, like, the physical, like, Maxi card, Ash Blossom, none of that, because that shit's expensive. So, I really don't, I don't have them. But I do have other cards I could use in place of that, because, yeah. So, like, say for example, right? For example, I activated Live Twin Kisakill's effect, right? Now, for the example of Maxi, I'ma use Win the Wind Charmer. Like, say my opponent, because Live Twin Kisakills allows me to special summon a Lola monster to my field. Maxi lets my opponent draw a card for every time I special summon, right? But I wanted to negate that Maxi, right? So in place of, I needed to play Ash Blossom. In place of Ash Blossom, I'ma use my Witchcrafter Hane. We use my Witchcrafter Hane to try to negate that. But they obviously want to draw a card, and they have Called by the Grave. So in place of Called by the Grave, I've got Swords of Revealing Light, which means that the Ash Blossom I just activated to try to negate their shit, along with all my future Ash Blossoms I use, are permanently negated. Therefore, banished straight away. So then I summoned Lil Treat, for example, right? Gonna set her in defense mode, because again, this is just a demonstration. Right? My opponent would then be able to draw one card. And then I decided to link summon. Now, I don't have the evil twin variations of Kisakill and Lil yet. So, in place of their link versions, I'm going to use both my beat cops from the underworld. I'm going to be using both of them. So say I did that, right? I for example, being summoned into Lil La, right? My opponent would then be able to draw another card, because that summoning from the extra deck is special summoning. And then I activate I activate my Live Twin Lil La's effect to special summon a Kisa Kill monster from the graveyard, which then would allow them to draw a card. And then I do that to link summon it to Evil Twin Kisa Kill, which allows them to draw a card. Then special summon from the graveyard Evil Twin Lil La. They draw another card. And then I tribute these two to summon Trouble Sunny. They draw another card. And then activate Sunny's effect to special summon both Evil Twin Kisa Kill and Lil La from the graveyard, which counts as 2 special summons. Therefore, they draw 2 cards. And then in place of Evil Twins Kisa Kill and Lil La, because I don't have that card yet, I'm be using this guy, right? I send it to the graveyard as well. And Evil Twins Kisa Kill and Lil La, that monster's effect allows them to be special summoned from the graveyard as long as I tribute 2 Link monsters, which I would have on the field. So I use that, special summon them, and since it's a special summon, they have another card. So meaning they have a huge fucking hand, which is quite possibly full of like hand traps and shit like that. And depending on the deck they're playing, you can lose the game just from taking that one turn, just from doing all that. But yeah, again, it all depends on what deck your opponent's playing. Like, if they were playing something like Drytron, Eldlick, Dogmatica, something like that, then yeah, Maxi is 100% a problem, because yeah, those decks, well, again, not obviously the best at this point, especially in a TCG with Tearlaments and everything dominating the meta, sadly. Meaning there's, like, little to no variety these days in play, in, like, tournaments and stuff like that. That's reasons like that, Maxi should be banned, because again, those decks really fucking powerful, and they do like to have like Maxi as well as a bunch of like other hand traps and shit like that. And yeah, but here's the thing though. Obviously, they're going to be balancing it. There are balancing issues in every version of Yu-Gi-Oh! No matter what. But if Maxi, as well as if Maxi, Called by the Grave, were outright banned and hand traps were limited, there would be more balance in the game. Some cards will obviously still be unbalanced, but the game itself would have a bit more balance, like a good amount more of balance to it. But here's the thing. Players don't care about balance. They want to win, because that's all the game is. They just want to win. And if cards like Call by the Grave, Maxi are banned, and the hand traps are limited, they won't be playing. Therefore, Konami, and they won't be buying cards. Therefore, Konami would be using money, which is obviously why they haven't banned Maxi and Called by the Grave yet, as well as limited hand traps. Because they know that if they do, they could kiss a lot of their profits goodbye. It's sad, but hey, all they care about is money. It's Konami. They're the same people who fucking made Metal Gear Survive, for God's sakes. Yeah. It's sad. But, and there's nothing we can really do about it. Fuck! Konami's even firing people just for saying Rush duels were a mistake. Yeah, they've been doing that too. For whatever reason. And trust me, Rush duels are a mistake. They are. 100%. But in defense of Rush duels at the same time, it is good for beginners, or if you're playing like groups with your friends. If you're like playing in groups, that's what Rush duels are good for. Fuck, I think that's what Cross Duel is based off of, actually. But, yeah. Yeah, Konami's firing people just for saying Rush duels were a mistake. It's really sad, really. But hey, that's... It happens, like... But, yeah. It's... Konami really does need to ban Max C and Called by the Grave. But then if they did, a lot of these decks are like absolutely fucking broken, overpowered, like Eldic. And again, Tearlaments and Dogmatica, stuff like that. If Max C and Called by the Grave were banned, nobody would be playing them. Therefore, most of the player base is gone. They don't, because they don't want to do any, they don't want to use anything else. Why would they want to use anything else when they got overpowered decks like that? Drytrons even are fucking overpowered. Fuck, even decks like Blue Eyes and Dark Magician could be fucking broken. Even, like, it's, they really need to ban those cards and limit hand traps, because that's just not right. It really isn't. And you're probably saying, well, you can just drop cards from your main deck out with your side deck. Side decks feel like cheating. Sorry, they just do. That's just the way it is. They feel like cheating. Because being able to swap certain cards from your deck, your main deck, to your... with cards from your side deck, at any moment, by the way, mind you, at any moment, it's kind of cheating. And there have, in fact, been cheaters caught live on camera, on stream as well, especially. They have done that shit. Been cheated and outright banned. Which, good on Konami for banning those people, but yeah, it's just ban fucking Called by and Maxi. That's all you need to do. But then again, they would lose a bunch of the player base because they don't want to use anything else. They want to use broken, overpowered meta decks. They don't want to have fun. They just want to ruin the game. And you might be saying, oh, you're just overreacting. Oh, you're just mad because you lose to decks like that. But picture this. Imagine you were new to the card. Imagine you were new to the TCG, right? You wanted to play something like, for example, the Dark Magician deck, right? You just got into the game. You like Dark Magician. You wanted to play the Dark Magician deck. And you want to play with other people. So you attended a local tournament. And they activate all these hand traps, maxis, all this other shit. You have no idea what's going on. And all of a sudden, on your turn, when it's your turn, they immediately have like a field full of monsters, hand traps, a bunch of cards in their hands on your turn, by the way, and you essentially just fucking lose. Like, is that really fun? No, it's not. Because congratulations, someone just ruined the game for you. It's really sad that, yeah, people, and it's like that in everything too. People don't care about you. Because if they win, that's all they care about at the end of the day. They don't care if you're new or not. You lose, that's all they care about. They'll rub it in your face. Yeah. It's really sad that people defend people like that, because, again, they ruined the game for someone. Especially if they're new to the game. Like, it was just outright ruined right then and there. First match, game ruined. Because I did all that shit. Just think about it. Like, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be very happy either. And if you're saying, oh, I would be happy because that means I learned, like, you deep down, you know you're not happy. You're lying to yourself if you say something like that. You're lying to yourself because you're not happy. The game was just ruined for you. Which, yeah, it's just not fun. Konami really needs to do something about that. And going back to another issue just popped right back up into my head. Lately in Master Duel, I have been experiencing some connection failures. And by connection failures, I mean I would be playing like a duel, even in the casual duel, a Master Duel, my opponent would be one attack away. Like, it'd be my turn. I special summon him. I don't even special summon. I would normal summon a monster, right? My opponent would be at like 500 or 1,000 attack points. I try to normal summon a monster with over that amount of attack points, right? But all of a sudden, I can't play my monster. I have no idea what's going on. Connection was fine until I was about to win, and then all of a sudden, I lose. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? My opponent was literally one attack away from losing. I was about to win. This happens in casuals too, by the way. Then all of a sudden, I lose because connection failed. I'm like, yeah, I seriously doubt that. Like, I was like playing against Drytrons yesterday. Actually, I was playing against Drytrons yesterday. This happened. That exact issue happened yesterday. I was about to win, then all of a sudden, I lose because of a connection error. I seriously doubt it was a connection error. I think that my opponent didn't want to lose, so they pulled their Wi-Fi plug or did something to my Wi-Fi somehow. Because again, the game Master Duel is crossplay, so you're obviously going to run into PC players and stuff like that. And with PCs, with it being playable on PC, you don't know. Someone could be cheating in the game. And all of a sudden, and they're losing. So they're like, oh shit, I gotta do something quick, otherwise I lose here. And then that issue happens where the connection fails and you lose when you're about to win. It's like, yeah, I seriously doubt that. I think it's like, yeah, I believe people are deliberately cheating so they don't lose. Especially if they're at risk of losing a rank. They don't want to lose. Therefore, they do something like that so they don't lose their rank. But you lose. Like, Konami needs to fix that issue because it's been happening. That's been happening to me and probably a lot of other players a lot over the past week. 2 weeks even. Like, There's been a huge increase in that lately. People thought bots were an issue. Like, no, it's people like this that are an issue. Like, because there's no reason that issue should be happening. And again, my connection was perfectly fine. There was absolutely zero connection issues up until that point. So it's like, yeah, something's kind of fishy there. Konami really needs to check on that, because, yeah, it's an issue. But, yeah, Konami needs to limit hand traps, ban Max C, Called by the Grave, fix that issue I just mentioned. And, yeah, honestly, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community would be much more enjoyable, honestly. It really would. But yeah, this is a controversial take on Yu-Gi-Oh! Just in general. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. I gotta go record Pokemon Sword.